Hi there, are you struggling with your UK theory test? You've just found the right video. We've made it super simple for you, breaking down the most important questions, tricky road signs, and essential tips to help you pass first time. No confusing explanations, no wasted time, just exactly what you need to know. If you find this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss an update. If you want to feel 100% ready for your test, stay tuned, let's get started.
Question 1. What should the driver of the red car, road, do? A. Wave towards the pedestrians who are waiting to cross. B. Wait for the pedestrian in the road to cross. C. Quickly drive behind the pedestrian in the road. D. Tell the pedestrian in the road she shouldn't have crossed. B. Wait for the pedestrian in the road to cross. Some people might take a long time to cross the road. They may be older or have a disability. Be patient and don't hurry them by showing your impatience. If pedestrians are standing at the side of the road, don't signal or wave them to cross. Other road users might not have seen your signal, and this could lead the pedestrians into a hazardous situation. Question 2. What should you do if the traffic in the left-hand lane is slowing? A. Slow down, keeping a safe separation distance. B. Accelerate past the vehicles in the left-hand lane. C. Pull up on the left-hand verge. D. Move across and continue in the right-hand lane. A. Slow down, keeping a safe separation distance. Allow the traffic to merge into the left-hand lane. Leave enough room so that you can maintain a safe separation distance even if vehicles pull in ahead of you. Question 3. A collision has just happened. An injured person is lying in a busy road. What's the first thing you should do to help? A. Treat the person for shock. B. Warn other traffic. C. Place them in the recovery position. D. Make sure the injured person is kept warm. B. Warn other traffic. The most immediate danger is further collisions and fire. You could warn other traffic by switching on hazard warning lights displaying an advance warning triangle or sign, but not on a motorway, or by any other means that doesn't put you or others at risk. Question 4. You're on a 3-lane motorway. Which lane are you in if there are red reflective studs on your left and white ones to your right? A. In the right-hand lane. B. In the middle lane. C. On the hard shoulder. D. In the left-hand lane. D. In the left-hand lane. The colors of the reflective studs on the motorway and their locations are: red, between the hard shoulder and the carriageway; white, between lanes; amber, between the carriageway and the central reservation; green, along slip road exits and entrances; bright green/yellow, at roadworks and contraflow systems. Question 5. You're driving past a line of parked cars. What should you do if a ball bounces out into the road ahead? A. Continue driving at the same speed and sound your horn. B. Continue driving at the same speed and flash your headlights. C. Slow down and be prepared to stop for children. D. Stop and wave the children across to fetch their ball. C. Slow down and be prepared to stop for children. Beware of children playing in the street and running out into the road. If a ball bounces out from the pavement, slow down and be prepared to stop. Don't encourage anyone to retrieve it. Other road users may not see your signal and you might lead a child into a dangerous situation.
Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video.
Question 6. What does it mean if your insurance policy has an excess of £500? A. The insurance company will pay the first £500 of any claim. B. You'll be paid £500 if you don't claim within 1 year. C. Your vehicle is insured for a value of £500 if it's stolen. D. You'll have to pay the first £500 of the cost of any claim. D. You'll have to pay the first £500 of the cost of any claim. Having an excess on your policy will help to keep the premium down. However, if you make a claim, you'll have to pay the excess yourself, in this case £500. Question 7. You're traveling along a residential street. There are parked vehicles on the left-hand side. Why should you keep your speed down? A. So that oncoming traffic can see you more clearly. B. You may set off car alarms. C. There may be delivery lorries on the street. D. Children may run out from between the vehicles. D. Children may run out from between the vehicles. Travel slowly and carefully near parked vehicles. Beware of vehicles pulling out, especially bicycles and motorcycles, pedestrians, especially children who may run out from between cars, drivers opening their doors. Question 8. What requires extra care when you're driving or riding in windy conditions? A. Moving off on a hill. B. Passing pedal cyclists. C. Using the brakes. D. Turning into a narrow road. B. Passing pedal cyclists. Always give cyclists plenty of room when overtaking them. You need to give them even more room when it's windy. A sudden gust could easily blow them off course and into your path. Question 9. How would age affect an older person's driving ability? A. They'll take longer to react to hazards. B. They'll need glasses to read road signs. C. They won't be able to obtain car insurance. D. They won't signal at junctions. A. They'll take longer to react to hazards. As people age, their reaction time gets slower. The rate of decline varies from person to person, but you can expect them to take longer to react to a hazard, and they may be hesitant in some situations, for example at a junction. Question 10. Which sign means that there may be people walking along the road? D. Always check the road signs. Triangular signs are warning signs. They inform you about hazards ahead and help you to anticipate any problems. There are a number of different signs showing pedestrians. Learn the meaning of each one. Question 11. You're waiting to come out of a side road. Why should you look carefully for motorcycles? A. Motorcycles can easily be hidden behind obstructions. B. Motorcycles are usually faster than cars. C. Police patrols often use motorcycles. D. Motorcycles have right-of-way. A. Motorcycles can easily be hidden behind obstructions. If you're waiting to emerge from a side road, look carefully for motorcycles. They can be difficult to see. Be especially careful if there are parked vehicles or other obstructions restricting your view. Question 12. What does this sign mean? A. Route for trams. B. Give way to buses. C. Give way to trams. D. Route for buses. A. Route for trams. Take extra care when you encounter trams. Look out for road markings and signs that alert you to them. Modern trams are very quiet and you may not hear them approaching. Question 13. What does this sign mean? A. Risk of ice. B. 6 roads converge. C. Multi-exit roundabout. D. Place of historical interest. A. Risk of ice. It will take up to 10 times longer to stop when it's icy. Where there's a risk of icy conditions, you need to be aware of this and take extra care. If you think the road may be icy, don't brake or steer harshly, as your tires could lose their grip on the road. Question 14. What does this sign mean? A. Wait at the crossroads. B. Wait at the barriers. C. Give way to trams. D. Give way to farm vehicles. C. Give way to trams. Obey the give way signs. Trams are unable to steer around you if you misjudge when it's safe to enter the junction. Question 15. What does a red traffic light mean? A. Stop if you're able to brake safely. B. You must stop and wait behind the stop line. C. Proceed with care. D. You should stop unless turning left. B. You must stop and wait behind the stop line. Whatever light is showing, you should know which light is going to appear next and be able to take appropriate action. For example, when amber is showing on its own, you'll know that red will appear next. This should give you ample time to anticipate and respond safely.
Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video.
Question 16. What color are the reflective studs along the left-hand edge of the motorway? A. White. B. Amber. C. Red. D. Green. C. Red. Reflective studs are used to help you in poor visibility. Different colors are used so that you'll know which lane you're in. Question 17. What must you do when you're overtaking a car at night? A. Select a higher gear. B. Flash your headlights before overtaking. C. Switch your headlights to main beam before overtaking. D. Make sure you don't dazzle other road users. D. Make sure you don't dazzle other road users. To prevent your headlights from dazzling the driver of the car in front, wait until you've passed them before switching to main beam. Question 18. What does this sign mean? A. Uneven road surface. B. Road liable to flooding. C. Steep hill downwards. D. Quayside or river bank. D. Quayside or river bank. You should be careful in these locations as the road surface is likely to be wet and slippery. There may be a steep drop to the water and there may not be a barrier along the edge of the road. Question 19. What should you do when you're approaching roadworks on a motorway? A. Stay very close to the vehicle in front. B. Always use the hard shoulder. C. Obey the speed limit. D. Speed up to clear the area quickly. C. Obey the speed limit. Be aware of reduced speed limits at roadworks. Speed limits shown inside a red circle are mandatory and cameras are often used to enforce the reduced limit. Slow down in good time and keep your distance from the vehicle in front. Question 20. What should you do if the left-hand pavement is closed due to street repairs? A. Position close to the left-hand curb. B. Speed up to get past the roadworks more quickly. C. Use your right-hand mirror more often. D. Watch out for pedestrians walking in the road. D. Watch out for pedestrians walking in the road. Where street repairs have closed off pavements, proceed carefully and slowly as pedestrians might have to walk in the road. Question 21. What should you do immediately after joining a motorway? A. Try to overtake. B. Position your vehicle in the center lane. C. Readjust your mirrors. D. Stay in the left-hand lane. D. Stay in the left-hand lane. When you've just joined a motorway, stay in the left-hand lane long enough to get used to the higher speeds of motorway traffic before considering overtaking. Question 22. Which sign shows that you're entering a one-way system? D. If the road has 2 lanes, you can use either lane and overtake on either side. Use the lane that's more convenient for your destination unless signs or road markings indicate otherwise. Question 23. What does this sign mean? A. With flow bus and cycle lane. B. No waiting for buses and cycles. C. No buses and cycles allowed. D. Contraflow bus and cycle lane. A. With flow bus and cycle lane. Buses and cycles can travel in this lane. In this example, they'll flow in the same direction as other traffic. If it's busy, they may be passing you on the left, so watch out for them. Times on the sign will show the lane's hours of operation. If no times are shown or there's no sign at all, this means the lane is in operation 24 hours a day. In some areas, other vehicles such as taxis and motorcycles are allowed to use bus lanes. The sign will show if this is the case. Question 24. What should you do if you see a large box fall from a lorry onto the motorway? A. Pull over to the hard shoulder, then remove the box. B. Stop close to the box until the police arrive. C. Catch up with the lorry and try to get the driver's attention. D. Go to the next emergency telephone and report the hazard. D. Go to the next emergency telephone and report the hazard. Lorry drivers can be unaware of objects falling from their vehicles. If you see something fall onto a motorway, look to see if the driver pulls over. If they don't stop, don't attempt to retrieve the object yourself. Pull onto the hard shoulder near an emergency telephone and report the hazard. Question 25. You're about to overtake a cyclist. Why should you leave them as much room as you would give to a car? A. The cyclist might get off their bicycle. B. The cyclist might be unsettled if you pass too near them. C. The cyclist might speed up. D. The cyclist might have to make a left turn. B. The cyclist might be unsettled if you pass too near them. Before overtaking, assess the situation. Look well ahead to see whether the cyclist will need to change direction. Be especially aware of a cyclist approaching parked vehicles, as they'll need to alter course. Don't pass too closely or cut in sharply, as this could unsettle the rider.
Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video.
Question 26. You've just passed your driving test. How can you reduce your risk of being involved in a collision? A. By always staying close to the vehicle in front. B. By never going over 40 miles per hour. C. By staying in the left-hand lane on all roads. D. By taking further training. D. By taking further training. New drivers and riders are often involved in a collision or incident early in their driving career. Due to a lack of experience, they may not react to hazards appropriately. Approved training courses are offered by driver and rider training schools for people who have passed their test but want extra training. Question 27. You're about to go down a steep hill. What should you do to control the speed of your vehicle? A. Select a low gear and avoid using the brakes. B. Select a high gear and use the brakes carefully. C. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. D. Select a high gear and use the brakes firmly. C. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. When driving down a steep hill, gravity will cause your vehicle to speed up. This will make it more difficult for you to stop. To help keep your vehicle's speed under control, select a lower gear to give you more engine braking and make careful use of the brakes. Question 28. What does the solid white line at the side of the road indicate? A. Footpath on the left. B. Traffic lights ahead. C. Cycle path. D. Edge of the carriageway. D. Edge of the carriageway. The continuous white line shows the edge of the carriageway. It can be especially useful when visibility is restricted, such as at night or in bad weather. It's discontinued in some places, for example at junctions, lay-bys entrances or other openings. Question 29. What should you do if you're driving on a motorway and you miss the exit that you wanted to take? A. Carry on to the next exit. B. Make a U-turn at the next gap in the central reservation. C. Carefully reverse along the hard shoulder. D. Carefully reverse in the left-hand lane. A. Carry on to the next exit. It's illegal to reverse cross the central reservation or drive against the traffic flow on a motorway. If you miss your exit, carry on until you reach the next one. Ask yourself why you missed your exit. If you think that your concentration is fading, take a break before continuing your journey. Question 30. When may you drive without wearing your seat belt? A. When you're testing your brakes. B. When you're driving slowly in queuing traffic. C. When you're moving off on a hill. D. When you're carrying out a maneuver that includes reversing. D. When you're carrying out a maneuver that includes reversing. You may remove your seat belt while you're carrying out a maneuver that includes reversing. However, you must remember to put it back on again before you resume driving. Question 31. Who's responsible for making sure that a vehicle isn't overloaded? A. The licensing authority. B. The owner of the items being carried. C. The person who loaded the vehicle. D. The driver of the vehicle. D. The driver of the vehicle. Carrying heavy loads will affect control and the vehicle's handling characteristics. If the vehicle you're driving is overloaded, you'll be held responsible. Question 32. When could the cost of your insurance be reduced? A. When you're under 25 years old. B. When you don't wear glasses. C. When you pass the driving test first time. D. When you complete the Pass Plus scheme. D. When you complete the Pass Plus scheme. The cost of insurance varies with your age and how long you've been driving. Usually the younger you are, the more expensive it is, especially if you're under 25. Pass Plus provides additional training to newly qualified drivers. The scheme is recognized by many insurance companies, and taking this extra training could give you reduced insurance premiums as well as improving your skills and experience. Question 33. What does this sign mean? A. You may park at your own risk between 6 p.m. and 8 meters. B. You may park partially on the verge or footway between 6 p.m. to 8 meters. C. You may not park partially on the verge or footway between 6 p.m. and 8 meters. D. You may park wholly on the verge or footway between 6 p.m. and 8 meters. B. You may park partially on the verge or footway between 6 p.m. and 8 meters. Vehicles should not generally be parked on verges and footways. It is unlawful in London and some other cities. However, this may be allowed on certain narrow streets where parked vehicles would not obstruct pedestrians. There are special signs to indicate footway parking. This sign indicates that vehicles may be parked partially on the verge or footway during the times shown. Question 34. How can you use your vehicle's engine as a brake? A. By changing to a lower gear. B. By changing to a higher gear. C. By selecting neutral gear. D. By selecting reverse gear. A. By changing to a lower gear. When driving on downhill stretches of road, selecting a lower gear gives increased engine braking. This will prevent excessive use of the brakes, which become less effective if they overheat. Question 35. What should you do if your vehicle catches fire while you're driving through a tunnel? A. Drive it out of the tunnel if it's safe to do so. B. Leave it where it is with the engine running. C. Park it away from the carriageway. D. Pull up then walk to an emergency telephone. A. Drive it out of the tunnel if it's safe to do so. If it's possible and you can do so without causing further danger, it may be safer to drive a vehicle that's on fire out of a tunnel. The greatest danger in a tunnel fire is smoke and suffocation.
Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video.
Question 36. What do you need before you can legally use a motor vehicle on the road? A. Proof of your identity. B. An appropriate driving license. C. A vehicle handbook. D. Breakdown cover. B. An appropriate driving license. Using a motor vehicle on the road illegally carries a heavy fine and can lead to penalty points on your driving license. You must hold a valid driving license for the class of vehicle you're using. Be insured to drive the vehicle. If required, the vehicle must have a current MO test certificate and be taxed for use on the road. Question 37. How should you signal if you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? A. Signal left after you leave the roundabout and enter the new road. B. Signal left just after you pass the exit before the one you're going to take. C. Signal right on the approach and then left to leave the roundabout. D. Signal right on the approach to the roundabout and keep the signal on. B. Signal left just after you pass the exit before the one you're going to take. To go straight ahead at a roundabout, you should normally approach in the left-hand lane, but check the road markings. At some roundabouts, the left lane on approach is marked left turn only, so make sure you use the correct lane to go ahead. You won't normally need to signal as you approach, but signal before you leave the roundabout, as other road users need to know your intentions. Question 38. What does the amber traffic signal mean? A. Increase your speed to get past the signal before it changes to red. B. Stop at the stop line if you can do so safely. C. Give way to pedestrians and then proceed. D. Stop immediately wherever you are. B. Stop at the stop line if you can do so safely. The amber traffic signal indicates you must stop unless you have already crossed the stop line or you are so close to it that you would risk an accident by stopping abruptly. Never speed up in an attempt to get past the signal before it changes to red. Question 39. A police officer asks to see your documents. You don't have them with you. How many days do you have to produce them at a police station? A. 7 days. B. 14 days. C. 5 days. D. 21 days. A. 7 days. You don't have to carry your vehicle's documents wherever you go. If a police officer asks to see them and you don't have them with you, you may be asked to produce them at a police station within 7 days. Question 40. An adult casualty isn't breathing. To maintain circulation, CPR should be given. What's the correct depth to press down on their chest? A. 1 to 2 centimeters. B. 5 to 6 centimeters. C. 15 to 20 centimeters. D. 10 to 15 centimeters. B. 5 to 6 centimeters. An adult casualty isn't breathing normally. To maintain circulation, place 2 hands on the center of the chest. Then press down hard and fast, around 5 to 6 centimeters and about twice a second. Question 41. Why should you allow extra room while overtaking a motorcyclist on a windy day? A. The rider may stop suddenly. B. The rider may turn off suddenly to get out of the wind. C. The rider may be traveling faster than normal. D. The rider may be blown in front of you. D. The rider may be blown in front of you. If you're driving in high winds, be aware that the conditions might make a motorcyclist or cyclist swerve or wobble. Take this into consideration if you're following or wish to overtake a two-wheeled vehicle. Question 42. What's the main benefit of driving a four-wheel drive vehicle? A. Improved passenger comfort. B. Improved grip on the road. C. Lower fuel consumption. D. Shorter stopping distances. B. Improved grip on the road. By driving all four wheels, the vehicle has maximum grip on the road. This grip is especially helpful when traveling on slippery or uneven surfaces. However, having four-wheel drive doesn't replace the skills you need to drive safely. Question 43. What advice should you give to a driver who has had a few alcoholic drinks at a party? A. Wait a short while and then drive home. B. Go home by public transport. C. Have a strong cup of coffee and then drive home. D. Drive home carefully and slowly. B. Go home by public transport. Drinking black coffee or waiting a few hours won't make any difference. Alcohol takes time to leave the body. A driver who has been drinking should go home by public transport or taxi. They might even be unfit to drive the following morning. Question 44. You're about to reverse into a side road. What should you do if a pedestrian is waiting to cross behind your car? A. Give way to the pedestrian. B. Wave to the pedestrian to stop. C. Reverse before the pedestrian starts to cross. D. Sound your horn to warn the pedestrian. A. Give way to the pedestrian. If you need to reverse into a side road, try to find a place that's free from traffic and pedestrians. Look all around before and during the maneuver. Stop and give way to any pedestrians who want to cross behind you. Avoid waving them across, sounding the horn, flashing your lights or giving any signals that could mislead them and create a dangerous situation. Question 45. What does this sign mean? A. Overbridge. B. Tunnel. C. Brick road. D. Hump bridge. B. Tunnel. This sign indicates that you are entering a tunnel.
Hi there, I hope this video is helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more driving tips and tests. And don't forget to comment your score. Let's get back to the video.
Question 46. What can seriously reduce your ability to concentrate? A. Weather conditions. B. Tinted windows. C. Drugs. D. Busy roads. C. Drugs. Both recreational drugs and prescribed medicine can affect your concentration. It's also an offense to drive with certain drugs in your body, and a positive test could lead to a conviction. Question 47. Why is it bad technique to coast when you're driving downhill? A. The vehicle will gain speed more quickly. B. The engine will overheat. C. The fuel consumption will increase. D. The tires will wear more quickly. A. The vehicle will gain speed more quickly. Coasting is when you allow the vehicle to freewheel in neutral or with the clutch pedal depressed. When traveling downhill, this will cause the vehicle to gain speed more quickly as you lose the benefits of engine braking. It may even lead to a loss of control. You shouldn't coast, especially when approaching hazards such as junctions or bends and when traveling downhill. Question 48. What should you do if you start to feel drowsy while you're driving on a motorway? A. Stop on the hard shoulder for a sleep. B. Speed up to arrive at your destination sooner. C. Open a window and stop as soon as it's safe and legal. D. Slow down and let other drivers overtake. C. Open a window and stop as soon as it's safe and legal. Never stop on the hard shoulder to rest. If there's no service area for several miles, leave the motorway at the next exit and find somewhere safe and legal to pull over. Question 49. You're driving in freezing conditions. What should you do when approaching a sharp bend? A. Be prepared to start steering sharply. B. Start to coast by putting your vehicle into neutral or keeping your foot on the clutch. C. Apply maximum pressure to your brakes if necessary. D. Slow down before you reach the bend. D. Slow down before you reach the bend. When traveling around sharp bends on icy, slippery surfaces, you need to slow down and apply minimal pressure when braking, steering, or accelerating. Furthermore, you should not brake and steer simultaneously. Question 50. Why should drivers be more careful on roads where trams also operate? A. Because trams don't have a horn. B. Because trams can't steer to avoid obstructions. C. Because trams don't have lights. D. Because trams can't stop for cars. B. Because trams can't steer to avoid obstructions. You should take extra care when you first encounter trams. You will have to get used to dealing with a different traffic system. Be aware that trams can accelerate and travel very quickly, and they can't change direction to avoid obstructions.